Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to another game of Waterloo Pirate 13U Baseball, where your Waterloo Pirates will be taking on Ripon today. Waterloo took one on the chin last night against the host team Waupun 7-4, and Ripon also lost their opening round game 5-3 last night. So we've got a battle of 0-1 teams here in pool play. Shea is on the mound for the Pirates today. We will set the defense here for you shortly. Trey behind the plate. First to third, Dylan, Gavin, Mason, and Jacob. From left to right, you've got Avery, Tucker, and Wyatt. So, top of the first. And the opening pitch is in there for a strike. And that is a little bloop over to third, and Jacob will glove that one for the first out. And that ball is popped up and will be against the fence, out of play. So we'll Shea ahead 1-0, 0-1, I should say. That ball is high and inside. And that ball is back to the fence. Lot of green space here behind the catcher. I mean, I would say we've got a good 10 yards between the back of the fence and where the catcher sets up. So any wild pitches or pass balls, I would think the runner would maybe try to take two bases on, but we'll see. 3-1 is the count here. And Shea comes back. So Ripon with a runner on with one down here in the top of the first. Modest lead over there by the Ripon runner. That ball is in there. And that is lined over here to second. Gavin gloves it and over to Dylan for the double play. And Waterloo gets out of the inning with no damage. Nice play over there by Gavin. Heads up to fire back to first as the runner wandered a little too far away. And that will end Ripon in the first inning. So through 1/2 inning of play, it is Ripon nothing and Waterloo coming up. Your first three batters in the Waterloo lineup, Trey, Gavin, and Mason. If any one of them should reach, Shea is your cleanup hitter today. So it should be a fun afternoon of baseball. This is the 1 o'clock game at Schleve Field here in Waupun, and we'll be back at 4 o'clock broadcasting the Waterloo game against Snappers, I believe. I think that's a club team. They were the team last night that beat Ripon 5-3. So after today, that ends pool play. There are 4 teams in each pool, and the top 2 teams from each pool at the end of day today will advance to the semifinals. Those first 2 games are tomorrow at 10 and 12. And then the winners, the championship game is at 2. So it'll probably take 2 wins today by Waterloo to be able to make it to tomorrow. And we will see what happens. But if the first half inning is any indication of how we're going to play some defense today, just got to get the bats going. Yesterday's opening inning for Waterloo, they scored 2 runs without the benefit of a hit. There were 2 walks, a wild pitch, and 3 errors, I think, by Waupun. So Waterloo had an early 2-0 lead yesterday, but again came out on the short end of the stick, 7-4. So we're back to live baseball here as Trey steps in. And that pitch is over his head, ball 1. And that ball is outside. Two and 0. And that is inside, 3-0. And he gets hit by that pitch, and the ball doesn't get too far away for him to go to second, but Waterloo with the leadoff runner aboard. And in steps Gavin. Scored 2 out of the 4 runs for Waterloo last night. And Trey is off with the pitch, and it is over the shortstop's head for a solid single into left. Trey is trying to dig it for a third. He's in there standing. The ball gets away, and Gavin will go to second on the throw. So Gavin with a solid single to left. Runners on second and third with nobody out, and Mason will come to the plate. And Mason pops one up, foul territory to third baseman, and he will catch that for the first out. Runners will hold. 1 down now for Waterloo, and Shea steps in. And Shea with a bloop into center. Is that going to fall? He catches it. And Trey will tag. Nice catch out there by the center fielder. So Waterloo up early, 1-0, and Cash is in, but 2 down now. And Gavin is still at second. And there's an appeal over to third, but to no avail. They believe that Trey did not leave early. And Cash lines that one outside of third base. So he is down 0-1 on the count. Bottom of the first inning, Waterloo just plated a run on a sac fly, and they lead 1-0. And that ball is inside to Cash, evens the count at a ball and a strike. And that is right down there to Cash. And Gavin sneaking a little far away from second. He was almost to the shortstop hole and was going back to the base a little lackadaisical and almost got picked off on a relay from the pitcher. And Cash swings through that one for the third out of the inning. But Waterloo plates one run, hit batter and a single and a sac fly. Through one inning of play, they lead 1-0. The wind was blowing in from left earlier. It's kind of died down now. So lots of baseball here today. This is the only game today at Schleve Field. 2 games last night in the B pool play that were here last night. And all other games are at Gus Thompson Field over there right across from the high school on Lincoln Street. This is natural grass field. The Gus Thompson Field is turf on the infield. Outfield is regular grass. So the boys in their second game today will be on a little bit of a different surface. So Cash in right field now. And we'll be back to live baseball here momentarily, top of the second inning. Waterloo leading 1-0. And that is in there for an opening pitch strike. And that is swung on over the Ripon dugout. Fans are scattering. Good attempt by Jacob, but he had quite a ways to run on that one. He might have been able to snag it if he would have been able to get there in time and reach way over the fence, but that's just a strike now. So 0-2, that Shea is ahead to the leadoff batter in the top of the second for Ripon. And there's a grounder to pitcher. Shea throws over to first in time to get the runner. And that is a line shot to short. Picked up by Mason, throws over to Dylan, and he is out. So 2 quick outs for the Pirates in this half of inning number 2. And that's a grounder that will be foul once Dylan touches that for the first strike. Interesting infield here at Schlevy Field where you've got actually grass, not dirt / sand between home and first and third and home. And that is a grounder over to third, gloved by Jacob and throws over to Dylan wide, and he will be safe at first. Oh, Ripon's first base runner. Second base runner, take that back. And that is outside. Outside 2-0. And that is a pop-up, and Jacob is calling for it, and he will catch that for the third out. And Ripon strands a runner at first. So through an inning and a half, Waterloo maintains a 1-0 lead. Due up for Waterloo in their bottom half of inning number 2, Tucker, Avery, and Jacob. Farmers market going on today in Waupun until noon, which it's 1 o'clock, so it's over. Sorry, we got here at 11, or we got here at noon. Started driving from home at 11. So we're going to start the bottom of the second inning here, and Tucker stands in. That is low. That bounces in the left-handed batter's box for ball 2. And Tucker lays off that one, but that was over the plate. That ball is low. 3-1 count. And that ball is inside. Tucker walks. So second inning in a row that Waterloo has the leadoff man aboard. And in steps Avery. And Tucker is off with the pitch. That opening pitch is a strike, and Tucker is in safely with a stolen base. So 0-1 to Avery. And Avery fouls that one over the Waterloo dugout. And he is down 0-2. And that ball is outside. That ball is outside as well. 2-2 now. And that is low and inside, so Avery's worked it full now. And Avery swings through that one. So Jacob stands in now with Tucker still standing on second with one out. In the bottom of the second inning, Waterloo leading 1-0. That ball is inside and low. And that almost hit Jacob. 2-0. Breeze picking up again. And that is on the outside corner. 2-1. And that is a high pitch that Jacob cannot lay off. 2-2 now. Outfield is straight away. And Jacob fouls one straight back right over my head and bounces over a car. So we'll do it again at 2-2. And that is low and outside. 3-2. And Jacob with a shot out to right. Is it going to fall? It will fall in front of the right fielder. And Tucker is rounding third. He is going to score. And he is safe at home. So Tucker aggressive on the base pass. Coach Ross over at third also being aggressive. And Waterloo is able to plate their second run of the inning. Jacob holds at first. And Dillon stands in now, one down in the bottom of the second. And Jacob is back to first. Doesn't trickle away far enough for Jacob to even think about advancing. Oh, nice pitch. 0-1. And Dillon with a grounder to third. Picks and throws to second for one and dropped out there by the second baseman. Jacob slides under that. And Dillon on with a fielder's choice. Brings up Wyatt with 2 on and 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Waterloo leading 2-0. And Wyatt leaves that one alone, and that's in there for a called strike. And Wyatt with a shot right back to the pitcher, but knocked down. They'll go to second for one, and they get the force on Dillon. But Jacob goes to third on the play. Wyatt safe on the fielder's choice, and in steps Ryan. A balk. And unfortunately, the Ripon coach was talking to his pitcher at the time he was in his motion. So Jacob scores on the balk, and Wyatt is awarded second. And that is outside. 1-0. And that's in there, 1-1. That's high. 2-1. Scoreboard has it 1-2. That is outside, 3-1. Wyatt the runner at second. 3-1 count. And Trey waits on deck. And Ryan follows that one off the top of the catcher's mask and back here to the backstop. So another full count. And that is on the outside corner for the third strike. And that ends the inning. But Waterloo picks up 2 more in the bottom of the second. And they lead 3-0. Shea back on the mound for his third inning of work. Wyatt will move out to left field, and Avery will sit this half inning. First pitch in the top of the third is inside, ball one. That's in there. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. That is low. And that's a grounder over to second. Picked up by Gavin and over to first for the out. And that pitch is high. That's inside, 2-0. And that is an excuse me swing over to second. Picked up by Gavin and over to first for the second out of the inning. Now 2 up, 2 down. And swung on and missed, strike one. Nice pitch by Shea. And that is swung on and missed, strike two. And that is low and outside. Not a bad waste of a pitch there. 1-2. And that is fouled up to the on-deck circle there. So we'll do it again at 1-2. And that is swung on and missed. Shea ends the inning via the strikeout, his first one of the game. So Ripon has turned away 1-2-3 in the third, and Waterloo coming up, leading 3-0. Back to the top of the order for Waterloo, Trey, Gavin, and Mason. So I had a real treat today, in case anybody's wondering. Back in my hometown and got to hear the noon whistle for the first time in I don't know how long. Such a long time ago since I heard that. Now in Waterloo, we test the sirens maybe once a quarter, if that. I don't know, I live in the country. I don't ever hear them. I only hear them when I go to town. Not like I'm not there every day taking my kid to Quick Trip. Oh, geez, I just gave an advertisement for somebody. That's not allowed. Sorry, we'll have to edit that out before I post this. Interesting note about the bats. I'll try to squeeze in here some here where in the third inning in our situation we had yesterday. And Trey with a grounder over to third. And that is gloved there by the third baseman. And Trey, one pitch, one out. So Gavin stands in, who's singled his first time up. Gavin leaves that one alone, but that's a strike right down the middle. And Gavin swings and pops that out to the shortstop. A couple steps away from the second base and records the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down quickly for Waterloo, and Mason will step in, who popped out on the first pitch he saw to the third baseman. And he leaves that one alone, ball 1. And that almost hit Mason, was able to jump out of the way of that. 2-0. Outfield straight away. And that is inside, 3-0. And Mason leaves that one alone, and it's right in there, 3-1. Shea in the on-deck circle. And Mason fouls that one right behind the catcher. And he's back to a full count here. Fair amount of those today that Waterloo has worked for. And Mason's solid shot up to center. And that will be a single. So Mason 1 for 2 today, and Shea steps up. Sac fly RBI, his first time up. And Mason gets back to first. Only about a step and a half lead over there. Pitcher just wants him to know he's thinking about it. And Mason is off at the pitch, and that is inside to Shea, and Mason will be in there standing. So 1-0 to Shea, but Mason now in scoring position. And Shea pops one back right over my head, and no car there anymore. Whoa. Might have been a door ding that time. Shea leaves that one alone. So 2-1 to Shea. Mason still at second. And that is in there for a strike. 2-2. And Shea fouls one just outside of third. And another full count on a Waterloo batter unofficially. Just off the top of my head, I think that's 5, maybe 6 already today. And that's in there and grounded just outside. That was even closer to the line this time, but that was foul. Shea turning on those last two pitches, just unable to keep them fair. And Shea lines one into center, and center fielder catches that one again for the third out. So second nice catch out there by the center fielder in this game. And Waterloo is turned away without scoring. But through three, they maintain their 3-0 lead. So I was talking a little bit about bats earlier. So this tournament, Waupun limits the use to USA or BB Core bats. Unfortunately, all of the bats that Waterloo had were USAA, I believe, or Trip U. So we got to the ballpark and found out that we didn't have a bat. So we were able to have a couple of parents find some bats at home from their older brothers. And we had 3 bats, all BB Core last night that they used. And over the evening, we were able to get a couple more USA bats. So I believe we've got 6 or 7 bats on the bench now. There's a nice throw down to second by Trey. So top of the fourth now. Waterloo maintaining a 3-0 lead. And shows a bunt and fouls it straight back for strike one. Jacob charging from third. Now Jacob will be on the infield grass a couple of steps to cut down that thought. Avery on first now for Dylan. And that is swung on straight back. 0-2 now. And that is popped out here to short right. And Cash is able to catch that one and put away the first out of the top of the fourth. And that is high, ball one. And that is swung on and missed. Evens the count at a ball and a strike. And that is swung on and missed. 1-2 now. And that is lined over Jacob's head into left field for a single. So Ripon with a runner on first. third base runner for Ripon, only the first hit of the game for them. And that is in there on the outside corner. And showing bunt, but pulls it back. 1-1. And showing bunt and drops it right in front of the pitcher's mound. Shea over to first. Avery unable to corral it. And Cash gets the ball in right field and holds the runner at first, but the other runner moves up to third. Small ball working effectively for Ripon. One down here. Runners on the corners. And the runner is off to second. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. So 2 runners in scoring position for Ripon now, still only 1 down. And this batter is in an 0-1 count. And that is back to Shea, and he throws home, and they will have him out at home. So fielder's choice out on the throw home. I don't know if they would have called him out anyway. I believe you have to slide into home on this. So 2 down now, runners on first and second. Top of the fourth, and Waterloo maintains 3-0 lead. And this pitch is low and hits off of Trey's leg far enough away that both runners will move up again. So second and third with 2 down and a 1-0 count. And that is ball out. That's 2-0. And grounder outside of third. 2-1. And that is swung on and fouled straight back. 2-2. And strike 3 on the outside corner. And Ripon is turned away in the fourth. They strand 2 runners, though. So through 3.5, Waterloo maintaining their 3-0 lead, due up for Waterloo. Cash, Tucker, and Avery. Definitely the inning that the most pitches were thrown by Shea. This tournament, you pitchers are allowed to throw 95 total pitches in the tournament. Through 4 innings, Shea is probably in that 55 to 60 pitch range, I would think. I think that second inning he was pretty efficient. He probably threw in the low teens, I think. So a lot of baseball here in the Tourney on the turf. The rest of the day today, last game at Gus Thompson Field will be at 8 o'clock yet tonight. Waterloo will play at 4, so there will be 2 games after them. And we'll see where teams end up record-wise in the pool. And who advances to tomorrow's semifinal. A couple of teams that Waterloo lost to earlier in other tournaments are in the other pool, Beaver Dam and Middleton. The Beaver Dam game was a heartbreaker. We won't talk about that and what happened. Let's just say it was unfortunate. So Cash stepping in as the leadoff batter in the 4th inning. And first pitch is in there for a strike. And Cash swings through that one. 1-1 now. That ball bounces in there. 2-1. Waterloo leading 3-0. Tallies of 1 in the first and 2 in the second. And Cash lines one into left center, and that is going to roll to the wall. Cash is on his way to second, and he's going to round second. He's on his way to third, and he will be in there standing, and he will stay there with an opening triple. Tucker in there now, walked his first time up, and that is in there for a strike. And that is low and outside. Nice stop by the Ripon catcher. Cash back to third. Head first slide. Closer play than it probably should have been. Heads up by the catcher there on Ripon. One and one. And Tucker grounder over to third. Cash coming home, and he is safe. Ball is dropped. The original call was out, but the ball was dropped. So Cash scores. Tucker with a fielder's choice RBI, and on first. And Avery steps in, who struck out his first time up. Waterloo now up 4-0. And first pitch is a ball low, and Tucker is on second. He will round that and be in safely, and Avery ahead 1-0 with a runner in scoring position. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth for Waterloo. They lead 4-0. And that ball is low, backhanded by the Ripon catcher. And that is inside, almost hit him. 3-0 now, with Jacob due up next. And that is on the inside corner, 3-1 now. Third and first up on the infield grass a little bit. Shortstop now creeping in. And pitcher steps off. Tucker not moving. Second baseman was in a couple of steps of second base. And in there now and low and outside, and bases are first and second. Now with Jacob up, who singled to right and scored his first time up. Jacob getting a little bit of a hotter bat now that he's been dropped a little lower into the lineup. I want a quick talk situational defense here for Ripon to make sure everybody's on the same page. Nobody out here in the fourth inning. Runners on first and second and one in already. Waterloo leads 4-0. And that is in there. Jacob with a shot to second. Steps on second for one and over to first, but Jacob is safe. So fielder's choice out on Avery at second. So Jacob now on first. Tucker moves up to third. Runners on the corners with one down. And Dylan will take his place in the batter's box. And Jacob is off with the pitch. And no throw, so runners on second and third. For Dylan at 1-0. And that ball is behind Dylan. Never moved. You better pull that bat down. Leave that bat up behind your head and it hits it. Foul ball, fair ball. It's contact. Must have been further away than I thought it was, but Dylan never moved on that pitch. Oh. And that drops in there for a strike, 2-1. And that's over Dylan's head, 3-1. So potential one ball away from loading the bases. And Dylan with a shot over to third. They'll go to first for the out, and it's dropped. And he is still out First baseman able to take possession of it before Dillon hits the bag. So 2 down, but Tucker scores. And Waterloo up 5-0. Jacob now on third, and Wyatt steps in. And that is just inside. Inside corner there, so evens the count. 1-1. And Wyatt follows that one over to the Ripon dugout. Oh, he's in a hole, 1-2. Low and outside, 2-2. That's low and bounces in there. Coming back here to the fence. Jacob is coming home and slides in there safe. So Wyatt with a full count. And Wyatt pops one over here to the second baseman. Catches that just on the infield and retires the side. But Waterloo doubles their lead, scoring 3 more in the bottom of the fourth. They now lead 6-0. And we'll see who comes out to pitch here. Looks like Shea coming out for his 5th inning. He's going to take the ball. As I said before, pitch count probably in the 50, upper 50, lower 60 range through 4 innings. Pitchers allowed 95 pitches in the tournament. So Dillon back at first, and Wyatt out in left. Rest of the defense remains the same in a 6-0 lead for Waterloo. They were that way yesterday too. Ooh, that is behind the batter's head. 1-0. And that's another one behind his head, 2-0. That's in there and grounded over to the Ripon dugout. 2-1. And that is grounded over to third, underneath Jacob's glove and into left field for a single. Opening runner aboard for Ripon. That's in there for a strike. Runner holds, and that almost hit him, just was able to jump out of the way of that. 1-1. And that's a grounder over to short. Mason to second for one, and the relay is not in time. Oh, Mason took care of the lead runner. So one down in the top of the fifth for Ripon, with the runner on first, and Waterloo leading 6-0. Couple step lead over there at first, but Shea delivers home, and ball is low. Pitch is low, should say. Sun's disappeared behind a cloud here for a little bit. And that ball is high. Batter had a duck out of the way of that one. 2-0. That's just inside. 3-0. And that pitch is in there for a strike on the outside corner. Three and one. And runner is off with the pitch. Ball is on the inside corner for a strike. So full count, runner on second for Ripon with one out. Shea's worked it to a full count after starting in a hole 3-0. And pitch is swung on and fouled over here by the Waterloo dugout. Got a piece of that. Well, we'll do it again at 3-2. And that is swung on and missed. Strike three, Shea's third strikeout of the game. Two down for Ripon in the top of the fifth. And that is swung on and belted to center. Misplayed by Tucker. They'll get it into the relay man, and he's thinking about going home, but they held him. Cutoff man Mason was coming up ready to fire it, but second hit of the inning for Ripon. Runners on the corners with 2 out. And he's off with the pitch. That ball is outside, so runners on second and third. And 1-0. And that is outside, 2-0. Based on the control, I think this is going to be Shea's last inning. If he walks this batter, this is probably going to be his last batter as well. And that is called a strike. 2-1. That's inside, 3-1. Shea 1 pitch away from loading the bases. That is on the outside corner, full count. And that pitch is grounded over to third. Picked up by Jacob and throws to first. Dillon with the scoop and the out. So Ripon threatens. Trey is safe. Trey running back to the dugout and trips over his catcher's gear. We won't show him laying on the ground here. But Ripon is turned away in the 5th inning. So headed into the bottom of the 5th, Waterloo will send up Wyatt Ryan and then the top of the order. And they lead 6-0. Games are 1 hour and 45 minutes, and we're about an hour and 15 into it. So we definitely should have opportunity to play a 6th inning. So besides the noon whistle treat for me today, I've got another treat. My mother is at the ballpark today, taking in the game, watching her grandson play, not listening to me at all. She's laughing.
I just got the thing, and you talking your sleep like this. He's good at it.
So yes, this tournament is in Waupun, the tournament on turf, and this is my hometown.
He was always a yakker when he was little. So this fits him perfect.
Grew up in this town, graduated from this town. Of course, I graduated from the old high school, not the new one that we'll be playing our 4 o'clock game at. Back when I was in school, that building, that area was nothing but a field. Behind the administration building, actually. Behind Washington Elementary School, which isn't there anymore. In fact, none of the elementary schools that were around when I was around are still there. I think Jefferson is still there, but it's not called Jefferson Elementary. It's used for something else. Lincoln Elementary School, that's an apartment complex. Amity School, that doesn't exist anymore. Chester, that was the first one to disappear when I was even just in middle school, I think. I don't know, maybe Alto still exists. Do they have an elementary yet? Alto have an elementary school yet? No, they don't have an elementary either, so... Oh, that's right. Wyatt grounded out his last time up. Yeah. So Ryan is up. First pitch is a strike. Trey in the on-deck circle. Oh, that plunked him in the ribs. So Ryan will take first. And back to the top of the order in Trey. Who is 0 for 1 and was also hit by a pitch earlier. Ryan with about a one-step lead over there. And that is on the outside corner. Nice pitch. And Trey lays off of that one. He wanted it, but decided not to swing. Good decision there, 1-1. And Trey with a shot to short, over to second for 1, and to first. Not in time, dropped by the first baseman anyway. I think Trey would have been safe. So Trey safe on the fielder's choice. Ryan out at second. And Gavin's up, who's 1 for 2 today. And back to first, and Trey is back in plenty of time. And Trey is off with the pitch. And that is thrown up the second base side of second. Trey in there with a stolen base. Second stolen base for Waterloo in the game. And that is in there on the outside corner. Evens the count. 1-1. And that was a delayed strike call, but it's been a strike all day. 1-2. Trey on second. 1 down in the bottom of the 5th. That's inside, 2-2. Waterloo leads 6-0. And that is high, full count again. And Trey is off with the pitch. He's going down to third, and he is in there safe. And Gavin will take first on the walk. Aggressive base running by Trey. Runners on the corners now, and Mason steps in, who's 1 for 2. Gavin off with the pitch, and ball is outside. And Gavin will have that base without a throw. Now runners on second and third with 1 down. And a 1-0 count to Mason. Playing awfully shallow and left. And Mason with a grounder over to third. Gavin holds. They throw to first with the out. Trey comes in on a ground out. Gavin moves up to third. And Waterloo now up 7-0. Shea up with 2 down. Gavin on third. And it's 1-0. And Shea with a number up to short. Picks and throws. Got him. But Waterloo able to plate one more in the bottom of the 5th. And through 5 innings of play, they lead 7-0. Pretty sure we can close the book on Shea here for as far as pitching goes. I think they're debating who to throw out there. I don't think Dillon's a bad option. Or is Cash going to throw? Who are we putting on the mound? I can't believe. Yep, looks like Cash is going to take the mound here. So, close the book on Shea. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, no runs allowed, and a walk. Solid performance by Shea in this game. So a couple of defensive changes. Obviously with Cash on the mound, we've got Shea that moves to right. Avery takes over for Dillon at first. And Ryan is out in right for Wyatt. So in the season, Cash has been a pretty effective reliever when he comes in. He's actually been probably one of the most consistent pitchers on this team. Got roughed up in one of his outings that he started. But when he comes in of relief, he settles in relatively quickly and is usually able to shut the door on with very few runs allowed. So 2:24. So hour and 24 minutes. That is if we started right at 1 o'clock. Cash's opening pitch is in there, fouled off right in front of the plate. Strike one. And that pitch is in there and under Mason's glove at short for a single. Gets past Ryan and left. And he's coming to second. They have a play. And he is out at second. So a single trying to stretch it into an extra base hit on the misplay by the left fielder, but Ryan corrals it and throws a strike to Gavin. And Gavin able to apply the tag with the first out in the top of the 6th. And that is swung on and fouled. Strike one. I think there's a lip in that outfield that maybe caught Ryan by surprise as he was charging it. It might have just hopped over his glove when he was trying to get that ball under control. But he hustled after it like he does when he's a catcher. And fired into second, and they were able to get him out. So 1-1 Cash is on this second batter of the Ripon inning. And 2-1 now. So 3-1 now. And that is swung on out to center. It's going to fall in front of Tucker. And they get it in. That is in there for a strike. Nice pitch. Cash, 0-1. And the Ripon runner is off with the pitch. Swings through that one. Trey down to second. And he slid under the tag. In fact, I think Gavin grabbed the ball a little bit in front of second base. He actually had to reach back to try to tag him. But the Ripon runner was already on the base. So 0-2 count, though, with a runner on second. That's low. And swung on and missed. And they need to secure the third strike. Throw it over to first, and Avery's got that one, and he will hold it and not throw to third. So 2 outs, and Ripon with a runner on third. And that is swung on and missed, strike one. Critical in this tournament to limit the other team's scoring ability. Tie breaks, I believe, go on runs given up. And that is swung on and looks fair. Throws over to first, and that ball just hung on the line. Stayed fair. Again, another situation here where I think the grasp between home and first and third and home probably slowed that ball down enough and kept it in fair territory. So Ripon turned away in the 6th inning, stranding a runner at third. And through 5.5 innings, Waterloo 7, Ripon nothing. Due up this half inning, Cash, Tucker, and Avery. See if that can lead to some more runs. So far, Waterloo, the only inning they haven't scored was the third. So bats have been active here. Unlike last night when they only scored in the 1st and the 7th inning. Seem to be off a little bit here. Sorry. There we go. Time limit's an hour and 45, so I think it's a max of 7 innings, though. So this is the bottom of the 6th. So, and it's only been like an hour and a half that we've played. Yeah, so depends how fast we go this half inning. There might be time for a 7th. I'm hoping not. We need to save that pitcher's arm.
I think his arm is getting tired.
Well,
I'm getting tired just watching him.
no, well, that pitcher was new last inning, so I think he would be the one to probably start next game. So 2-1 count, bottom of the 6th. Cash leaves that one alone, 3-1. And that ball bounces in there, so Waterloo with their leadoff man aboard via the walk. And Tucker's up. And Cash is in safely with a stolen base. So, coach's visit to the mound. 1-0 count to Tucker. Sounds like the Ripon coach giving him a pep talk, trying to support their pitcher. So back to live baseball. Cash, the runner, on first. Tucker with a 1-0 count. Nobody down here in the bottom of the 6th. Tucker swings through that one, strike one. Waterloo leading 7-0. Tucker swings at that one. It's a foul ball over here to third. Caught over there by the third baseman in foul territory. So Avery stands in. 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout and a walk. And first pitch is outside, ball 1. Ooh, that ball is on the inside corner, 1-1. It's another one on the outside corner, 1-2. Avery swings at that one and puts that into left field and caught out there by the left fielder. So 2 down after Cash has made it to second base. Jacob, who is 1 for 2 with RBI and 2 runs scored today. Jacob swings through that one. And there's a grounder over to short. Picked up and throws in plenty of time to first base to retire Jacob. And Waterloo turned away in the 6th. So we'll play a 7th. Cash coming back to the mound for his second inning of work. Defensively, more changes here. Dylan will take over for Avery at first. And Wyatt in left for Ryan. Otherwise, everything else is the same. That's outside and gets away from Trey, back to the backstop. That pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1. And that is swung on and tipped into Trey's glove. 1-2 now. And that is swung on and over here to third. Drops in front of Jacob, fires over to first, but not in time. And infield single for Ripon in the top of the 7th. Another leadoff hit for Ripon. Just haven't been able to cash in yet today. And runner holds, and that is shot over into left center. And rolling past Tucker in center field. He gets the ball into the cutoff man, Mason. And Mason will run it in. So runners on second and third now with nobody out for Ripon in the top of the 7th. First extra base hit today for Ripon. And that ball is grounded up to first base. And he's safe. Gavin picked the ball up with his bare hand and tagged the bag with his glove, and that is not an out. Ripon scores on the play. Still nobody out here for Ripon in the top of the 7th. 7-1 now. And it swung through that one, strike one. Runners on the corner. 0-1 pitch. Ball just outside. 1-1. And that is a shot out to center. Tucker's in on it. Makes the catch. He made the catch. They call it an out as he tried to transfer it to his hand. So sacrifice fly there for the Ripon batter. And 2 runs are in now. 7-2. Ripon still with a runner on first. And that ball bounces past Trey. Back to the backstop. He's looking at going to maybe 2 bases. And he did not. Stays at second. Trey gets it in fast enough. Once again, there's a lot of territory between the catcher and the backstop here. 10 plus yards. And that is swung on and missed. 1-1 now. That gets away from Trey, but not far enough. Two and one. And that is swung on and right to Mason at short. Over to Dylan at first. He's out and throws over to third for the final out of the game. A double play on a ground out. And Waterloo will leave with a 7-2 victory here. And we'll be back here in about another hour and 15 minutes to bring you the second game, Waterloo versus the Snappers. So once again, Waterloo, solid pitching performances from Cash and Shea, and they are victorious here 7-2. And we will see you in about an hour and 15 minutes.